Hi, thanks for checking out our channel here. It's going to be hopefully a repair video on a Gallagher M1800i. It's not the MBS 1800i or the MB 1800i, it's the M1800i. This is the early version of the unit. They make a newer one that's 12 volt or 110 volt. They share, I think, some similarities, but they're not 100% the same on the inside of parts and everything. But this particular unit got hit by lightning. 2017, I think it was the last year that they offered the straight 110 volt only version. I think it came out with this model 2012, 13, 11, I can't remember. It's been a little while since I built the thing. But the note on it, yeah, hit by lightning. And so I haven't plugged it in yet, but there's something moving on the inside. The transformer and capacitors do move a little bit in these, but I think there might be something else still moving around inside. Let me get the screws out of it. And if you've got one of these units, these are not usually for the faint at heart to try to do it themselves. If you don't get everything in the right exact spot, the stupid case will not shut. So it's a kind of a balancing act of getting it fixed without jacking around with too much stuff and moving things out of the way. And it's a good design of a unit, but kind of pain that to get back together if you get something out of place. So we're going to take the screws out of it. Let me turn this around first. Yep. You can see the little spark gap for lightning protection. A little spark gap right there. You can see it's burnt. That's cosmetic. And you travel up here, and it's kind of hard to see in the camera, but there's some burnt stuff up there. This is the logic module they call it, I think. This is one that controls and tells it basically what to do and how to act. What also talks to the digital display piece as well. This is where all the charge, discharge, all that fun stuff goes on at. Most of it goes on at. There is a hot spot looking right there on the board, but that might just be cosmetic, because there's all your capacitors, your big transformer. So I think the first thing we need to do, definitely, this bowl's burnt out right there, some burnt stuff right down there. You know, this board for sure needs to be replaced. All this stuff right here is probably fine. Don't go bad all that often. Even lightning gets a hold of stuff. Usually damages this or both. So let me go over to my stock of parts. And I think I got a new board for this piece right here. And it's actually the easiest part to change. But all this board over here, the main module, all these wires over there, you got to get in the right spot and everything. So, all right, give me a minute here. Had two of these boards in stock, but only one of the logic boards. So, in theory, we should get this going. Even if there's a problem with this board, you can't fix this board, which it looks pretty old school looking on the top side, but if you flip it over, it looks a lot like this stuff here. So, there's a lot going on with the thing. There's a new board. It comes with these two cables on it that run over to this board. So I'll set that board to the side for a second and get my needle nose pliers out, and we'll start unplugging things. I'll try to watch where all the stuff's plugged in at and where it's routed, so that way when I go to put it back in there, hopefully do it the same way. Most time what gets hung up when you go to put it back together is stupid capacitors. If you don't get them in the exact spot, almost to a T, it's a pain in the neck sometimes to get these close up, and it's just over something silly like that. But it is doable. It can take some time to get it right and everything. Nice thing is all this stuff is color coded and labeled where every wire goes, so that's why I'm not really worried about just unplugging them and yanking it out of there. It's not. This board is no, neither board is screwed in place. This is held in with clips, you know, that built in the case, and the back case has little things that built into it. Up here, press it down in certain spots, helps hold the thing together. So probably a quick way to manufacture it without having to screw things down. Yeah, it's pretty burnt up right there, as well as over here. And down inside the little thing that this plugs into. And down over there. And of course the lightning spark gap's all burnt up. So lightning definitely came in most likely on the fence and ground side. Alright, you know, we'll find out about this AC side in a little bit. Alright, let's so now we're going to get this board, these wires back, get this board slipped right into place here. Don't see a lot of the I series Gallaghers come in. The only time they ever really do come in, lightning. I rarely do see one of these I series fancy models just fail for the heck of it. It's usually 99.8% of the time probably lightning. Alright, so now let's start plugging these wires back in. They're all color coded, and they've got all these little grooves here where everything needs to be seating down at. And then this is our fence terminal, which it doesn't really matter. It goes, both these red wires here go to those two spots, and they're electrically in the same spot, so that doesn't really matter. Actually, we're gonna put it right here. And this board, also part of the lightning protection stuff. It's usually fine. Rare for it to go bad, but this board is available, I guess, if I had to replace it. Alright, so the last time this cord over here went down in there. Now this may get us going, and we may have more issues than that. Come on. And it goes over here. Now it's going to tuck down there. Okay, they did send their digital controller. You can see it's been chewed on, or they run it through a wall, and this is to keep it protected. I don't know. Let's plug this cable in here. Let's put this right there. Let's grab the power cord. Plug it into the socket, turn it on. No life at all. Alright, let's check the fuse over here. That fuse is blown. Don't see, I mean, besides that discoloration right there, I don't see any physical burnt stuff. I mean, I could take this board out, but then you gotta, we're not gonna go that route until we have to. So let me grab another fuse for this model and keep those in stock. I don't keep a lot of them in stock because they don't come in all that often, but I do have some of these fuses in-house in here. Alright, let's watch for smoke. We'll watch over there and see that thing flashes. When it flashes, we know it blew the fuse. I turned my head away because I wanted anything throw sparks at me. I don't know if it's sparked that fuse or not. Let's take it out, test it again. Yeah. Blew the fuse again. So we got a bad main module, what do they call it. Alright, well, didn't luck out yet. So These both boards changed. Then you'll grab the other board. Alright, there's the new board. There's the back side. Look at all this surface mount stuff they use on this board. Front side is pretty old school looking. All this through hole stuff, diodes, and big old diodes too. Capacitors and stuff. The back side is all computerized. Digital electronics, surface mount stuff. Okay, well, unit is unplugged, fuse is out. So now we got this one. We got to be careful too. Let's unplug this wire, this wire. Put the power cord as well. Let's just start unplugging this stuff. These spade connectors aren't just regular old spade connectors. They've got a catch on them that lock lock these things onto the tab that they're plugged on, so they're a little bit harder to just pull off there. You gotta squeeze a certain spot, and it allows them to unplug. Ow. Now these 4 brown wires are for the 2 big capacitors on top. Those have to be plugged in a certain way, or we don't plug the same capacitor into the wrong spot. Oh shit, look at that burn, all that burn stuff. Yeah, no way that was going to solve that board. This thing got blasted. Most likely on the AC side, because that's where the power cord comes in right there. You see it's all burnt up right there. And of course, with these boards both being plugged in together, and that spark gap over that was burnt up probably came on the fence and ground side as well. That poor board didn't stand a chance. So they had a fuse on there. I'm sure it blew, but it didn't save the board. So I think even if that fuse wasn't there, it still would have done just as much damage or more. So the fuse was kind of irrelevant to the situation. I don't even know why they even put a fuse on there if that's not going to save it. All right, let's blow this dust out of here. Burnt these little pieces of copper and traces of the old board laying in there. Okay, well, let's get the new board in there. I really hate having to move these capacitors because they're the ones that fight you when you go to put the back case back on. So I'm trying to minimize the movement of the capacitors the best I can. And it sits down inside there, and then there's some plastic on the back case, 2 different spots that will push down right here and here, looks like, roughly, and help hold that board in place. So that's why I don't require screws to hold it in. Okay. Alright, so there's 1 brown wire right there. Second brown wire, and we'll hold it to the side. Get this brown wire here. There. Take this brown wire there. Another brown wire right next to it. And then a blue wire. The other capacitor down below goes right there. Second one goes, oh wait a minute, hold on. And that's loose. Make sure these are tight, because that one just pulled right off. It seems to be tight. That's tight now. And the next one is this red wire. And the second blue wire here. And this black wire right there. Now, let's plug this wire in here. Put that there. Power cord. That's loose. Tighten that up. Come on. Alright. It's going to be a pain in the neck. I got these other, because these are not standard, like 1/4 inch, whatever size you want to call it. Spade connectors are smaller, so it takes these small ones, and we're going to use those. It's hard to squeeze down on those and make it tighter with that white plastic on. I'm going to try one more time before I use these, just to save me a little step. Let's see if we can get these side cutters on there and just kind of squeeze down on them right where the tabs are. Okay, let's try it again with those two. If that doesn't work, we'll snip them off and we'll crimp on those smaller ones, or those other ones. Now the white goes here. That one on there. Oh yeah, nice and tight on there now. Okay, there's that. All right. Let's plug that digital display piece back into the thing. Now, I didn't check the capacitors, but the thing's only like 5 years old. Capacitors hardly ever go bad on these things anyways. Gallagher uses good quality capacitors. It's rare to have one go bad. Except for age. As they get a little age on them, they'll start to go bad, but 5 years is nothing for these things. Alright, plug it in here. Now what should happen, if this thing is good, it should light up, show numbers, and click and flash and everything else. So there goes nothing. There it is. Like a dream. Test across the ground and fence. Gauge is 8.5 roughly, and this is 8, so close enough. There's so many variables that can change between that type of tester and this thing. It's working fine, so we'll turn it off. Unplug the display controller deal. Let's hope like hell that stupid thing the case goes back together like a little good boy. Come on, work with me here. Okay, it's already fighting me. Still fighting me. There's little tricks sometimes you can do to, you want to go back together, but I hate these things. Hate the cases on these things. Look at this. That little lip under there. I feel like it's getting held up over here. This side wants to go right on, but it's not. Sometimes you can see it's right there in the middle, right those capacitors are. Jostle things a little bit sometimes. It wants to. God, Gallagher, come on! Would stay up there, it might be in better shape. You can't force it or something's gonna break, of course, you know, so you don't want to do that. Oh my god. Let me pause. I might pause the video here in a second if I don't get too frustrated here soon. Why I hate removing that long board, that main module board, because if you don't get something in the right exact spot, man, everything just binds up on you. I think it'd be a piece of cake. Repairing one's not bad. It's getting it back together. Sometimes you'll do 10 of these, and there might be 8 that go back together perfect, and you get 2 of them that want to fight you. There we go. That's better. That's just the transformer moving a little bit. That's pretty normal. Let's put the front little thing on here. Look at these terminals. Make sure they're not burnt up at all either. Ah, that one's burnt somewhat. That one's not too bad. But yeah, you definitely see it came into the fence side. That side's burnt pretty bad. But I think we'll be able to clean that up though. Let's get Dremel tool looking thing with a narrow wire brush. Spray it down. Some cleaner. some of the front residue off this one. Alright, well that's it for this one. I'm sure plug it back in here in a minute, let it run for a while, and I'm sure we'll be good to go because the capacitors and transformers hardly ever go bad. Call this one done. Oh, man, I struggled with that case a little bit, but other than that, it went alright. Here's our information right here. If you've got one of these, want to send them for repair, we have to take a look at it for you. And until next time, see you guys later on.